Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris Brown here again. I'd like to welcome you to another video. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go over another one of these sales tools. And I not so much would call this as a sales tool as opposed to a business tool. It's not going to help you to make more sales, but what it will do, it will help you to become more profitable when it comes down to your sales. One of the things that we've talked about before is that Dun & Bradstreet says that 95% of business failure is due to businesses not advertising. And when we look at the small business community, most small businesses do not advertise because they're scared. They've run advertisements before, they've lost money on it, and they're scared to advertise. And so what this software is that we're going to go over in today's video is what we call it is the ROI software. And if you've been in business before, you're familiar with what that term ROI means. Stands for return on investment. So what we're going to do here is this software is going to help you to make money. That way you are profitable when it comes down to your advertising. So what it's going to do, it's going to show you how much money that you can spend on advertising to still be profitable. So let's go ahead and get started with this. You don't have to go through this video. I am going to suggest it though. So if you look down below directly underneath this video, you'll find the little link that you can click on, and it's going to directly open it into where you can see the software that you see in front of you here. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to set an income goal. And as you can see here, you can adjust this. So it goes down to, we can go down to 0, or we can go as high as $1 million a year. Now, we've all heard the term that money does not buy happiness, right? So, whether you believe that or not, it's not supposed to buy you happiness. Now, I can for sure tell you if you're stressed and if you're broke, you're not going to be happy either. Money is not designed to make you happy. Money is designed to give you choices. But if you have no food, if you don't have money to buy food, you're gonna be pretty stressed out, right? And if you don't have enough money to pay your mortgage and the things like that, you're not gonna be happy because you're gonna be stressed out. So that whole money does not buy happiness is a myth. So what we want to do though, we want to have a balanced view of this. We don't want to be too materialistic, but we want to have a balanced view of this. Now at the same time, everybody says that family's more important, but most people are spending most of their time working as opposed to spending time with their family. So there is a balance to all of this. But in this first parameter in the software here, we want to select our income goal. Now you can select it whatever it is that you would like. I am going to make a suggestion here though, that you do put it in the $100,000 to $200,000 range. Because once you do put it into that range, your quality of life changes. And now you can make $1 million a year and you can become more materialistic. But at the $100,000 to $200,000 range, your life dramatically changes. The quality of your life changes, and not in full of materialistic pursuits. There was it was a reprint, but it was a report stated in Men's Health magazine, and I've shared with you this with you before, but there was 50 years of U.S. Census data, and it showed that if you're in the top 10% of income earners, you will live an average of about 12 years longer than somebody who is in the bottom 90% of income earners. So if you're at at 10% of it, top 10% of income earners, you're at $100,000 a year. If you're in the top 1%, you just have to go up a little bit more, and you're at $250,000 a year. And but in that range, your life really does change. Now, what happens when you get into that area is that once you get that part of your life filled, and then it kind of leads over into the other areas, because it takes self-discipline to make $100,000 to $250,000 a year. So you get that area of your life handled, and it crosses over into some of these other areas of your life as well. Now, money, again, is not the most important thing. Some of you who are watching this video may think that, and I'm not going to change your mind on that. But there's some of you who no, why do you always talk about money? Because it does have a very big impact on our life. And that's why we talk about it. So I am going to make a suggestion again of $100,000 to $250,000 a year. Your chances of getting a divorce lowers by 50%. You know, better relationships. There's all of this really cool stuff that really happens when we're in that top 10%. Now, this software is really designed for those of you who have a monthly fee. So you have an auto ship program, continuity programs. It goes by different names. But if you understand, watch this video, and if you understand how to use the software, you can use it even if you sell a house, and it's a very expensive product, and you don't have a monthly fee, but you're selling a house and getting a big lump sum. If you pay attention to this video, you'll understand how to use the software to be able to figure that out as well. So what this software does, just as a side note, is it uses quantum physics, it uses science to be able to calculate how much money that you can spend on advertising to be profitable. Quantum physics is the laws of the universe, and these laws don't change. Now, sometimes people will say, "Oh, it figures it. Oh, stuff like this always happens to me." No, it doesn't. It's just you focusing on the negative. You know, the glass is half full or half empty. You're focusing on the negative, so you feel it always happens to you. It's quantum physics. Those numbers happen to you over and over and over again, and that's why it's so easy to predict sales, because you're going to expose X amount of people to your marketing message, and X amount of people are going to buy each and every time. You're going to have there's going to be a law of averages. If you find the best parking spot, it's all based upon a law of averages. If you can't find a parking spot, it's based upon the law of averages. And these you can't change them. You can argue about it. You can fight it. You can say it's not fair. But this happens each and every time. And people try to break these laws, and you cannot break the laws of the universe. It's impossible. People say things like, 1% rich, 99% poor. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. And you can complain all that you want about it, but you can't change the laws of the universe. Now, in the case of the 99% or the 99% and the 1%, you can decide which side of that you want to be on. So you as a person can decide which side of quantum physics that you want to be on. Now, I know that probably got in a little deep for a moment there, but I just wanted you to understand how the software works and why we can predict how to make sure that you are profitable when it comes down to making a sale. A sale is not a game of chance. We know exactly what we have to do to make sales, and it works each and every time. And like I also said, that this software has been primarily designed for those businesses who have a monthly fee. If you don't have a monthly fee, if you sell a car or something really expensive, you use what I'm going to show you, and you'll be able to figure out how to become profitable with that as well. And one of the products that I sell is the mobile marketing, okay? And I'm just going to use this from my own perspective. That way you can follow my numbers. I don't know what business you're in. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you sell. But if you follow these numbers, you can do the same thing. So I have a product, the Remarka Mobile, which is the mobile marketing system, and I'm making $27 a month off of that service. Okay, I have to pay merchant fees, and there's a lot of expenses that I have to. If I only have one customer, it doesn't pay for my expenses. I actually lose money, but that's how much off of every customer that I'm making, $27 a month. Now, how many new customers am I going to get my first month? So one of the things I do a lot of phone sales. I do internet work, but I do also phone. So I'm going to generate 60 sales a month, and that's usually what we do. I spend a couple hours, spend 90 minutes, 2 hours between 90 minutes to 2 hours on the phone, and that gives me an average about 60 sales a month. Okay, and then I'm going to do how many new members per month am I going to get? Let's go with 60 sales again. Let's go with 60 sales. Okay. Now, your attrition level, and that means is how many people are going to cancel the service. And let's say that you're one of those individuals that only has a product with a one-time fee. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to set this as an attrition level of 99%. Oops, not 100, 99%. That's what you would do. So as you can see here on the screen, you sell that product once, and then it drops off. So that's how you do that. But in my case, now I have, and I'm going to base this off of insurance for you, because my attrition level is really, really, really low. I think I've only had, at least so far, I've only had one person cancel. No, two. I've had two people cancel the Remarkable Mobile software and mobile marketing tool. So I got a very low level, but on average, for most businesses, I do develop closer relationships with my customers than what most people do. But on average, in the insurance industry, bases theirs off of a 10% dropout rate. Okay, or attrition level, however you want to say that. It's hard to get to 10. Okay. So this is my numbers. So I'm actually now, with those numbers, I need to actually make more sales, because now I'm actually, that's not enough. I need to make more sales to, as you can see here, I need to grow my income by 19 sales, which that's still pretty easy to do. So let's go for 100 sales a month after that. Let's go for 90, 60, 70, 80, 90. So I did another 30 sales a month. I might work another couple hours. That's it. Okay. Now there's a thing called an affiliate commission. There's some things and this will work for each and every one of your businesses. But there's a thing that is called an affiliate program, and what we can do is we can help you, and we can recruit internet salespeople for you. These are commission-only salespeople, but we have the software to be able to do this for you, and we can recruit internet salespeople to sell for you, and they're commission-only, and we can do that for you as well. Now, in this case, there is no affiliate commission that we're paying that is paid out on that in particular software. So we'll just keep that at 0. But if that's something that you would like us to do for you, we could create a commission plan for you and your customers, or your salespeople. Excuse me, not customers. So but if you paid out, let's just say, and it depends on what your profit level is. What we could do, but let's say 15, 20%. I could still, at 20%, I could still be profitable. I could still hit my income goal. But in my case, I do have zero. I'm not going to pay out any commissions on that in particular product. Now, the digital marketing toolkit, there is a commission that is paid out on that one, but I'm not even going to talk about that one here. Now, here's our landing page. So this is how we're generating leads, and so what this means is so this is our conversion rate, our sales percentage. Now in this example up here, I did talk about, yes, I get on the phone, I can do 60 sales a month easy. This is more or less, we're not talking about you getting on the phone, we're talking about using advertising. So you can use advertising to do the selling for you, so you don't have to worry about this. An auto sales closing system, turning your business into a vending machine business. Okay, I just brought that up just as for an example. But the research shows, and there's a company called Penn Island Studios, and they say that worst case scenario, as long as you're following the basic principles of marketing, And you might not know what those principles are, but that's why we're here, to share with you what those principles are. When you follow the basic principles of marketing, absolutely worst case scenario, you should get a 0.5% closing ratio. Now, this is not branding. We are using, when we do this type of advertising, this is called as direct response. Here's what I got. Here's what it will do for you. Here's what I want you to do next. You know, a lot of small businesses are saying, you know, this is what I do. This is how long I've been in business, and I got the greatest products. I got the greatest services, best price guarantee. That type of advertising has like less than a 1% conversion rate. So that's not what we're doing. We are using direct response that at worst case scenario has a 5%, and in fact sometimes it's got a 10 or 20% conversion rate. So it gets really high, and that's generally what is more likely to happen. But I had this guy, he was like 87 years old. His name was John, and he was 87 years old, and he had a 1% conversion rate. I personally have never seen anybody do less than a 1%, but it can happen. So I'm going to base this off of a 0.5%. And so then this gives us our desired ROI. So how much do we want to make profit on this? Okay, so I can lower this. Nope, I can't lower this because my numbers are off. So if I increased this up here, then I would be able to move that. So let's say I'm gonna, hello? Okay, I think my computer's having some difficulties. It's frozen right now or something. Oh, there it goes. So let's say I'm doing 100. Say I'm doing because I'm using advertising. So let's say I do 120 sales, and then I could do my desired ROI, and I could change this. Let's say I only want to make, oops, I was going in the wrong direction. Costs. So as you can see here, so if I'm making I'm making $27 a sale, how much am I willing to spend to acquire a customer? And let's say I'm willing to spend half. So as you can see here, I can change that. So I'm going to say I'm willing to spend, I'll go with $16.88. And so my math is cost per click. So if I'm doing internet marketing, I can only spend 8 cents per click. And if you know what that means, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. For those of you who do know what that means, you might see that as that's very, very that's very, very low. Where are you going to be able to get that? I'll explain that in here in just a moment as well. So now we have a lifetime. What is the desired life? And as you will notice, this is the desired, not what you're actually going to get, but what is the desired. Because the business who is willing to spend the most money on advertising wins. Now, this guy that I used to, that I did coaching for, I worked for one of Dan Kennedy's top students, and Dan Kennedy does the marketing for Proactive. And the reason that their Proactive is so successful is because they are willing to spend more money on advertising than any of their competitors. That's it. They don't have a better product than anybody else. They're just willing to spend more money on advertising than their competitors. And so when we're doing all of this, we're guesstimating worst case scenario. So you would ideally like to, let's say you'd like to make $20 a month off of your customers, okay? But let's say you're willing to spend $16.88 to acquire a customer, which you should, because you're still going to make money. You should be willing to spend as much as you possibly can to acquire a customer. You should be willing to spend the entire $27 to acquire a customer that very first month. You might not, you're not going to make any money that month, but the next month is where you're going to make money. So you should be willing to spend as much money as you possibly can. Now, you have a desired lifetime value. So what are you willing to make? Okay, so it gives you these numbers here, and so your cost per at a 2% at a 0.5% conversion rate. That means 1 out of every 200 people who see your sales message is going to buy. That means that you could spend 14 cents per click. And for those of you who are familiar with Google and places like that, Google has a thing that, and I'll take you to Google, and I'll show you what I mean by this. And let's go, let me put a keywords in here. Let's say let's go shoes. I'm gonna type in shoes. So I'm gonna go buy some shoes. Okay, so, and I knew Zappos would be at the top, because Zappos, the average customer at Zappos spends $900 a year on shoes at Zappos. $900 a year. So they are willing to spend more. Because of that, they are willing to spend more on advertising on the internet than any of their competitors. So I knew Zappos would be at the top. And you've probably heard me or will hear me talk about Zappos and other videos. So these are people who are paying per click. And what that means is, you see over, whoops, come back over here, the CPC, cost per click, we can spend 14 cents. And so Zappos is willing to spend the most. Just Fab Shoes is willing to spend the second most. Dazzle, Macy's, and it keeps on going down and down. Whoever's willing to spend the most is at the top. Okay? And we should be willing. Now, because that their sales is better than everybody else's, they're able to spend more than all of their competitors. So this is why your conversion rate is so important. So we have provided you, again, as part of the system, we've provided you tools to be able to get this better results than any of your competitors out there. No, your competitors is not going to go to a guy like me who normally would charge, $15,000, $20,000 to create an advertising campaign, because that's what I was, for me to create an advertising campaign at the last company that I worked for, that's how much that they were charging. There was a lady by the name of Bastez, and Bastez was a founding member, one of the founders of Ancestry.com, and she spent like $15,000. She spent a total of $60,000 with me for me to help them with their advertising, to help her in the different things that they're doing in their advertising. Because the first thing that she did got results, so she wanted to buy more and more, and she got a couple of different advertising campaigns from us. But I was the one that was doing the work. So, because of what you get here as part of the Unfair Advantage marketing system, you're going to have higher sales conversion rates than what you would get if you went to your local printer or any other resource out there. Because of our experience and what we do. We decided that, and I've had opportunities to work still, even after I've left, I've had opportunities to work with Fortune 500 companies. And they're cool. You get to help them a little bit, but it's really the small brick and mortar businesses. That's where we make the biggest impact. So let's say that we increased it by our conversion rate by a 0.5%. Okay, so now we're selling 1 out of every 200. Now you're able to spend 27 cents per click. Let's do it at a 4%. You're able to spend $1.08. Now, let me show you one last thing. I'm sure at this point you have gotten started with the digital marketing toolkit, and you have the email newsletter system, right? The Inbox magazine sending out email newsletters, right? Now, according to the Direct Marketing Association, says that you're going to earn an average of $187 over the lifetime of that customer. Okay, so let's just look, because that's based upon quantum physics again. Now, after that 187, and that $187 is off of the first 90 days. And then after that, what we have found is a person is going to average $1 per month per subscriber. So obviously we need to get a lot of subscribers. So first month subscribers, let's still go with 60, but how many subscribers do we have to get a month? And we have, in this case, we have a 0 attrition rate. And we're getting getting 1,000 new subscribers, and first month subscribers as well. And this is just this time I'm just showing you based upon email alone. You know, so I'm at 78,000. So if we got 1,000 subscribers per month, but that would 1,000 subscribers per month for 12 months. So that's 12,000 subscribers, and that's $12,000 a month. You know, so we're pretty close. We're pretty close to hitting it there. But what you want to do is you want to use this software. So again, what this shows us is that how much money that we're able to spend and still get a profit on our investment. Now let's go back and we just set this at the $27 fee again. 37, 26, 27, 26, 27. Part's a little difficult sometimes. And we're doing 60 sales our first month. And then, 60 sales our first month. And let's just say I'm going to do 120. Okay, 120 sales. And then what is our desired ROI? I don't care even if I lose money. So we can spend $11.17 per, I forgot to do the attrition rate. At 10%. But if you build the proper relationships with your customers, because that's all a customer is it's based upon a relationship. That's why customers quit. It's not because somebody else has a better product. That's a myth that people have, but it's because of the relationships. I've had people who have never even used my products, but they've stayed my customer for 3-4 years, and they've never used my products, and I've actually told them to cancel because they're not using it. Oh, no, I'll use it eventually. So it's all based upon the relationship. And so as you can see here, I could spend $1.02 to get a customer, and of course I could lower my lifetime value, and if I do that, I'm able to spend more per customer. You know, So there's all these different things that I could do here. But it is telling us, so max cost to acquire a customer. I still want to make money by first month. So let's go with 27 bucks. So I could spend $1.08 per click. Now, there's $1.08 per click would be pretty cheap, or pretty, chances are you're not going to find an industry on Google to be able to pay $1.08 per click. You may be able to do it. The likelihood of being able to do it on Facebook are pretty good, but there's also other places that, as we continue here, we're going to give you access to, and we're going to show you these other places where you can advertise on the internet and pay that $1.08 per click. So it does show you. This is really great software to show you how to stay profitable in your business. If you have any questions about anything that we did talk about in this video, just on the lower right-hand corner of the website, there's a little chat box. You can just send us a question. You can attend our live question and answer sessions. Of course, you could call us too on it, and that may be what we do. If you send a little message on the chat box, give us your phone number, and we'll just go ahead and give you a call and resolve your issues and answer any questions that you might have as well. Okay, so I hope this information was helpful. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye now.